And welcome to the Backlash preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture.
Ages.
Here to look ahead to this weekend's Backlash Premium live event. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a pretty good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to Backlash this weekend and mention SmackDown, but not a fully fledged SmackDown preview this week.
Smacklash.
Good, because we didn't have enough time to do both of these things.
Yes.
So we figured they sort of blend into each other anyway.
Feels like too evil a word.
This has come around. It feels like WrestleMania was last weekend.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Allow me to indulge in my own sadness.
Okay.
For about half an hour. There was a point. Thank you for that. I guess time moves a little faster in your 40s. And having lived in them for a couple of weeks now, or a week and a bit.
I was going to say, it's not been 2 weeks.
Feels like it. This is what I mean. This is getting to my point. It's Friday as we record this. This time last week, I was in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and myself and Phil Chambers and Adam Nicholas were just shooting the breeze, living the best life. And there was a point at which, I think it was like either on the Saturday or the Sunday, probably the Saturday, where I think I said to Phil specifically, like WrestleMania was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it had just felt like, through the unbelievable privilege of getting to see like little bits of America and Canada, that like I was living like a month in a day, every day. And WrestleMania couldn't have been only a fortnight ago, having done so much and seen so much and all that. And then, anytime we do these WrestleMania trips and all, there's always like a come down.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like the pay-per-view cycle moving on as quick as it has made it feel even weirder. Up is left, right is four. Like, I'm in love with the business when I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. The National Business Association of Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm getting up in the morning and I'm checking the results of something, but it's the playoffs, and forgetting that, oh, wait a minute, there's a wrestling show that I'm employed to be able to watch and talk about and stuff. Everything feels all over the map, and this Backlash show coming when it does. I'm curious, like, let us know in the comments on Twitter, whatever. How does it feel having this like quick return from WrestleMania? Because for me, WrestleMania feels longer somehow than the 3 weeks. 3 week turnaround? That's got to be right, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
Like April 420.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
It's been 3 years. 3 weeks
like,
after.
Because Raw has been this total overhaul.
Oh my God.
Right, here's a bunch of new people, here's a bunch of new stuff, here's a bunch of new directions, go, go, go. SmackDown's been SmackDown. But like...
Just like you remember it.
Didn't need any changes, not from where I was sitting.
Just really looking forward to a month's time when it's back to 2 hours.
God dang, fix it. You hear me, sack road dog. Just sack dog. Yeah, like, has it felt... I'm curious, like, has it felt like 3 weeks... to those, like, not ensconced in the privileged bubble with which we reside? Like, because to me, it feels like about 6 years. Like, I was watching some WrestleMania back. I was watching some of it with the kids, and already it's that weird post-WrestleMania thing where, like, Planet WWE changes so swiftly sometimes that you can scarcely believe that in the run-up to WrestleMania, we were even talking about those feuds and those programs. There's a little Backlash hangover in one of the matches that we're going to talk about. But by and large, beyond that, it's like, nope. A whole new fad.
Off to the races, yeah. We've got this. Then we've got like Saturday night's main event in 2 weeks after this?
Yeah.
And then the start of June, basically. I think June 7th is Money in the Bank.
So,
Oh my God.
I love Money in the Bank, man.
Saturday night's main event. What date is that?
I'll find that out.
Sorry, Ash, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Because we were talking about this in the office the other day, weren't we? There's a weekend coming up where like at least one clash takes place.
Yeah, Saturday night's main event is the big weekend. It is the
How
playoff
then?
finals. We will talk about that in a minute, by the way, because
Okay.
both of our teams are going to be featured in those playoff finals that weekend.
Well,
It is May 24th. So 2 weeks from today, it is Saturday night's main event
right.
NXT Battleground. You're grounded. Battlegrounded. You're not a winner.
Pause. Freeze frame. How?
What?
How? How is that?
Well, I think they're concurrently running things side by side. So I think there'll be something we're going to mention on SmackDown that I think is going to be Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, presumably. I don't think they've actually announced it for any of them, but that would make sense to be on Saturday.
So does that mean this is going to be like Battleground late night?
Oh, I see what you mean in terms of...
Like, administratively, how are we doing that? Because Saturday night's main event presumably has to take place at a specific time on the CAC.
Well, don't worry, because Saturday is Saturday night's main event, and Sunday is NXT Battleground, and that's all the shows that weekend.
That's all the wrestling taken care of, squared away.
Sorry, what's this? Oh. AEW have decided to counter-program NXT Battleground by running Double or Nothing. But the good news is it's a bank holiday, so, you can choose to stay up for one and, watch, the next show. Which will probably be like 7 hours long at some point on the Monday, yeah.
Yeah. You got a full extra day, which is typically what you need.
Right. And by the time we come back to work, if back into the...
I thought I was too tired to be this kind of big of a dickhead on the internet, and it turns out here we are. Here we are. I'm really jet lagged,
it took me a while.
You can never it's dread it, run from it. It's jet lag.
You think you get past it, you think you've beaten it, and then...
The post-WrestleMania trip, definitely eased the WrestleMania hangover. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you. And I am so... It's envy that you have, but only in a good way. I'm so envious of all your amazing skills, but it's not with that clenched fist. It's more like... God, I wish I had what he had. But if anything, I get to be a part of it.
Me with your calves, pal. So.
Okay, well, this is it. We've all got wins in our lives. Never in my life have I wanted to be you less than on that Wednesday when, it was just I'm going home and I miss my family and I can't wait to see them. Well, I'm going to a different bit of America. See you later, buddy. We had that really great night on the Tuesday. We had all the coverage was proper done.
Yeah.
Dunsky Jones, and we went to Fremont Street. Our first time in Fremont Street
Evil
together.
Pie, was it called?
Oh my God. The Odyssey, the way it was over, we spotted it wasn't even on the menu, it was on the selection of cans, and I just thought they'd kept one can from prior guest beers. The Stone Cold IPA at Evil Pie, just off Fremont Street, which was a recommended pizza joint I got off two separate, very trusted sources. Matty Edwards of Grapple, shout out Matty, and my cousin Nick, shout out my cousin Nick, who both recommended Evil Pie as a must try. And when they had Stone Cold IPA there as well,
two big slices
and a beer. And then we'd never experienced...
That was coming off the back of... That was after, wasn't it? We wouldn't have eaten before we went on...
No, I think we did it as soon as we got there. I think we went there. We got the Uber to Evil Pie, and that was the start of the...
But we'd done the strap before.
We'd done the strap before. We haven't talked about it. We'll get back to that. Goodness gracious. I'd experienced Fremont Street once by day, and you had a much... younger, dafter time on Fremont Street in a past Vegas trip. But we was
Attack Grill.
It was end of the trip beers. So it was just more a lot of observing, wasn't it? Well, I wouldn't say we engaged with Fremont Street. I would say we enjoyed looking at it. Yeah. And it was nice. We were all we'd had a couple of big, already shared, my experience with the robot.
Yeah.
A couple of big nights. We met some listeners who had some of the big night with us. If you were fortunate enough, from the Aurora Bar in Luxor, anything was possible in the Pyramid. I miss it every day. I sometimes think about the Beam, and I sometimes think I'm walking down the street in Sunderland or Gateshead or Seam or all the various places in the Northeast I frequent and feel like I can see the beam of light in the sky, and it's bringing a tear to my eye. From the Aurora Bar to New York, to Treasure Island, allegedly, I don't remember it, to Fontainebleau, to the Venetian, to every casino we kind of snuck our way in, to Circus, to the Strat itself. There were a lot of people that we were fortunate to grab a beer with on our travels, because you can do that.
I love the Brummy lot. I've forgotten all their names.
Legends. And it was so nice to get to do that. But by the final night in Fremont Street, sorry if this is boring and indulgent, but there's going to be weeks of this across various, but you haven't even done your WrestleCulture wrap up yet.
Yep.
That's to come.
It's just going to be me and Phil on WrestleCulture for that exact reason.
Just talking about stuff. Yeah. So sorry about this, but it's ostensibly the SmackDown preview you tuned into, so we will get to Backlash, I promise. But that sort of last evening on Fremont Street, just stopping and a staring.
Yeah,
and it was lovely. And I remember having one of the some neon alcoholic drink I'd found, and I was drinking away.
I was having a twisted tea, I think.
Yeah.
They were well nice.
I was just like, this is amazing. And like, I don't know how I'd cope with this being there. And then it hit me. I was like, I can't say this out loud because that's Wilbourn's actual brain right now.
How many more days did you have there? Like 10 days left in America then?
Loads.
Or
like
the North America.
yeah. And it was great. And I will say, though it hasn't started yet, kind of still coming down a little bit, we are open for business. I'm going to say this a lot because I said it on Phil and Fed's Excellent Adventure. Working with MGM was the highlight of my professional career. And I extend that to the HyperX Arena live show. Thank you if you attended. I hope we got around to speaking to everybody, but we all told you that it was just the most amazing live show experience
incredible,
I've ever had. In a run of them, which we've been fortunate to do, the Aurora Bar, everything we did with Luxor, Flanker over at Mandalay Bay. But like, we were aware the privilege of getting to work with MGM in Las Vegas. Like, unbelievable. New Orleans.
Yeah, we're coming for you.
You are open for business, and so are we. If you know of, or if you are involved in anything to do with the hospitality industry in New Orleans, this time last year, there were people going on the beautiful Oyo Hotel and Casino to simply leave 5-star reviews on the off chance that we were trying to get something off the ground with them. They didn't answer the DMs. Like, I got no regrets because we went to you first and you did not reply. And in the end, it worked out with the MGM. Look, I'm not burning bridges. I'm just saying we had this amazing experience with the MGM.
Oyo said, oh no.
That's right. They'll be saying it now. And I want to do that again in New Orleans. And before I ruin everybody's days with a million pestering emails, because you better believe I'm going to send them. If you want to get in first, and if you have seen anything we've done on the live shows or anything like that, and you want to get in on the ground floor, we are absolutely open for business. And if you're watching this...
Someone's got a pool. Let's go there.
If you're watching this and simply excited about the potential of your own travel to New Orleans for WrestleMania next year, let this be, at the earliest opportunity, the first self-erected platform where I can say we are absolutely looking into it.
Whether it's the Nopsey Hotel, that's got the one with the pool.
Yep.
The Chloe, oh, look at that. Oh,
me and Phil went to a bar like that in Calgary.
Is that where you had the blues, this blueberry sour?
It was a pub that was a house.
The Frenchman Hotel, ooh la la. Oh, we lost it.
Early front runner.
Omni Royal Orleans.
Keep reading these, and it's gone.
Hotel Peter and Paul.
Yep.
That looks cheap. The Roosevelt.
The Roosevelt. If there's one thing I know about Waldorf Astoria is that they're always nice and affordable.
Hotel St. Vincent. Best for I went to see St. Vincent in concert in Nottingham. It's class. Does he run that then?
I don't know.
We'll look out for it. Anyway. But yes, we were already eyeing up New Orleans.
But what I was going to say was, New Orleans.
And maybe SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, that's all, yeah.
All of them forever. No, but some like New Orleans, WrestleMania, that's the kind of stuff that like...
What's the Rumble next year?
Saudi Arabia, mate. That one's out.
Strike that from the record.
Survivor Series, possibly, though. We were looking at... Murray recommended us have a look at the stadium for where the Survivor Series is yesterday.
Yeah, the baseball field.
Course field,
yeah,
something like that. Oh, my God, that's in never been to San Diego before.
Oh, I've been. I'll show you the sights. I stayed right on the beach.
What am I doing just saying New Orleans? America, Canada, the world, WhatCulture Wrestling is open for business. If there's a pay-per-view happening near you and you want to do live shows, if you want to do any kind of live events, attractions, we're into it. 4 nights in Las Vegas was something I think I will never forget, and getting to meet so many people and drink a load of beers, and beers buzz the business. Undefeated.
It's the best.
Sorry, Backlash in a minute.
We should talk about Backlash, yeah. We'll sort of flip between Backlash and SmackDown.
I'm depressed. I'm really struggling.
Well,
this time last week I was putting my fingers on the house plaque and crying. So I don't know when it's going to be all right again.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, brother, let me tell you.
I will say this.
I was listening to Phil and Fed's Excellent Adventures, which I was really enjoying. It's a good little travel diary, that. Do not listen to it yourself, though.
6 months minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say this on the record and on the level. Adele, Charlie, Joshua, you were the 1, 2, 3 reasons for me to come home to this goddamn hole, because I missed you terribly while I was away. And it was like an everyday thing where I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm one day closer to seeing them. Them is is what I mean. I'm one day closer to seeing them. Did I miss the physical house they live in? No.
If they could come here, it'd be preferable.
Did I miss the trains? The anything? No, I didn't mind. We got off the plane in Newcastle and it was brisk, and I was like, "Oh, I've missed a bit of brisk." Because you know what they say about Canada? F***ing boiling. That's what they've always called it. The Great Hot North.
Yeah.
It was hotter than Vegas.
Wow.
In a couple of days we were in Canada. Did not see an inch of snow, but I sweated off several inches on the waistband walking around it.
There you go.
So it could have been worse. £9, guys. £9 I put on in beers and food over the time in America. We can work with that.
Yeah,
Start working.
manageable.
Back. Not this week. 3 takeaways in 3 days. Got to get through it somehow. But so maybe it'll be on like close to £12 by the time we do the proper. This is
Once
the real
we're over
version.
it, that's the only real place we can judge it from.
There's an interview, speaking of health and fitness, of which I'm a guru. There is an interview that, if you scroll down the podcast feed, I did with Simon Miller.
Yeah, it's great, this.
Over WrestleMania weekend, which I'm particularly proud of as well. I saw him work amazingly for the first time since I saw his shoot debut for WCPW.
Wow.
I think that's the last time I saw him wrestle. I saw him work in the Palms for Progress. It was awesome. He was screwed out of his Proteus title. But Paul Walter Hauser became new champion. And we kind of talked about the inner workings of all of that. Miller's experience doing the last match, how he feels he's come on, getting to be part of a WrestleMania weekend mad day where he was doing loads over a 24-hour period, all of our coverage that he does for us. He's a brilliant man, and it was cool to sit down, and we're going to try and make that an annual tradition.
And we're going to try and get Simon Miller on another podcast. Have you heard this 7 wrestlers theory thing that was doing the rounds just last week, I believe, on X?
No, what's that?
We're going to get you on as well. Sidgwick did it. It's well worth checking out. It's basically like, who did you first fall in love with in wrestling? Who would you die for in wrestling? Who do you hope for great things for in wrestling in 2025? There's like 7 questions.
I like that. Yeah.
I want to try and do it with everyone at WhatCulture, and Simon Miller is one of those people who's given us the old thumbs up.
Excellent.
So we'll try and get that sorted in the coming weeks. But Backlash, yes. John Cena versus Randy Orton one last time, according to the poster. Cena set to make an appearance on SmackDown tonight, I should mention, where he should probably get some form of upper hand on Randy Orton, considering he's been dropped by an RKO last time, the 2 times they've seen each other.
Yeah, and this was...
Randy Orton just cut a promo last week, if you missed SmackDown.
So, if you remember, in the build to WrestleMania, what was thought to be the last interaction between Cody and Cena was Cody dropping Cena with relative ease, and then Cena rocked back up on the go-home SmackDown that we watched on the HyperX screen, and everybody went daft for how cool an exchange that was. That appears to be what they're doing here, doesn't it? Cena's got these dates, he's counting them down. Did so in that Raw promo that was awesome.
20-odd days or something now.
So here goes one on SmackDown, and I guess there goes another one at Backlash. I don't know what he's going to say on SmackDown. I don't know what he might do to Randy Orton on SmackDown. But I'm an advocate for this match. I loved that before WrestleMania, Randy Orton set up a very honourable match with Cody Rhodes. Believing in him that he would win, to say, well, just so you know, Backlash is in St. Louis, I'll see you there. And then when he didn't get that, just rolled back the ears and hit John Cena with a surprise RKO, that kind of thing. I haven't loved them showing old clips of the matches because I don't want to be reminded that they always stunk. Like, I want to actually go into this one excited. I
like the Iron Man match, weirdly.
That is the one. I will give you that, considering that it's 63 minutes. That's also the
firework one as well.
Yeah. They've done everything. I've seen everything when it comes to Randy and John. They've fought in Hell in a Cells. They've fought in Ironmans, in I Quits. They've had matches that went to DQs. They've had matches that went to clean pins, dirty pins. They've had matches that were hijacked by fans asking for other wrestlers. Every version of WWE, the bad years.
Do you remember when it was... It's getting real. It's John Cena versus Randy Orton. It could become a rivalry. No, wait. I can still remember the video promo for this. John Cena versus Randy Orton has become the rivalry. And I'm going to put it all on the line. If you beat me, Randy Orton, I'll leave Raw. So you just go to SmackDown then?
John Cena, Randy Orton. There can only be one world heavyweight champion. Daniel Bryan. As we were saying, John Cena versus... There can be only...
Mark, put his hand down!
There can be only one world champion. 2013. 12 years later, fighting for one of the 2 world titles. It's John Cena versus Randy Orton. There's loads you want to not think about, but the thing you do want to think about, in my opinion, is that this is the right match at the exact right time. Not just because they're in St. Louis, not just because John Cena needed a first opponent, right? John Cena, more than needing a first opponent that he can beat for the heat, he needed to go somewhere where people just hate him, because Vegas was not that place.
Nope.
We had 50-50s at SmackDown and Raw.
Cody did a phenomenal job of getting them back on side, by the way.
We had a 70-30, 80-20 when the entrances happened, that Cody gradually worked them back. Stunk. Match stunk. The finish stunk. I liked it in the building as a stadium match for the sheer atmosphere of it.
Yeah, watching on telly, I sense probably wasn't the biggest.
Awful. And Cena has only got it, on evidence, has only really got it in ring with CM Punk. Wrestling soulmates, magic at Elimination Chamber. He just doesn't seem to have it with anybody else. And this is the one place he can go where I hope the St. Louis show out for Randy Orton, and they sing him down to the ring and they cheer his every single flicker, let alone move, and everything Cena does is booed. Let this be like the very first time audiences truly turned on John Cena. I'm not even talking the mixed reaction years. I'm talking like the sort of 2005 feud with Chris Jericho, WrestleMania 22 against Triple H. Just like, no, you know what? We hate you, actually. Boo! Real anger, vociferous booing. And of all match combinations, it's Randy Orton versus John Cena. And it's Cena that's the one taking the heat. Let them do it.
Well, speaking of heat.
You got to finish.
No. Yes and no.
I saw an old Randy Orton John Cena finish on Twitter that kicking around that somebody said they should reverse this.
What is it?
It was the one. Don't ask me for the pay-per-view. I think it was a No Way Out, but it was the one. It was somebody shared the clip, and it's where like Orton's Dunsky, so he just like hits the ref.
Oh yeah, he slaps.
It's just a DQ.
Mike Yoda, I think.
Yeah, just
it?
DQ. And it's like
there was No Way Out because it was Cena's Rumble win.
Yeah. Aye.
And it was like...
So, yeah, 2008. Yeah, so that's right, yeah, because then it ended up being the triple threat regardless. And
I like that.
Orton thought like he's got him out of it. And Cena, you know how he begged off against Cody before he kicked him in the balls? Like that. It's like, well, and now I'm on my knees. I can't even kick you in the balls. I just, like, lashes out at the referee.
Lightning fist the ref.
Referee's down. Like, the building's clearing out like the...
He's dead.
I wouldn't mind Orton... like pulling out some handcuffs and chaining Cena to the post like he did in the Iron Man, but now it's like it's just Christians and the Lions. Kill him! Referee's gone down. He's got the kendo stick out. There was another one. There was another Orton Cena spot that I thought of. Can't remember. It'll come back to me. But like reliving some of the classic moments, but this time actually getting the desired reactions.
Well, I think tonight on SmackDown, you say. John Cena's back, cutting a promo, right, saying, I'm going to kick your ass, Randy. But he has, in his cowardly way, saying, oh, well, I don't want to go in not 100%. You know, I want to face you at 100%. That's what I've said. And you keep hitting with the RKOs. So stay in the back, right? You've agreed. Or you're not even in the, I don't know, he has to be there, but, you know, he's not allowed out. You know, and weird sort of, like you say, role reversal here. I'm the heel, you're the baby face. Your family's here. I think you should attack a member of Randy Orton's family like Randy Orton punted his dad that one time.
That's nice.
Has he got anyone that we could genuinely pitch that for?
Is Bob Orton still alive? Can we quickly Google if Bob Orton's still Cowboy Bob Orton?
Oh, yeah.
Like for like?
I was thinking that because I was thinking his...
Can't remember if he passed. Getting on, but...
74?
Attack a 74-year-old.
There you
That's
go.
what we're calling. I got another finish for you at Backlash.
Or he could, I suppose he could attack his kids. That's another option. Don't do that, obviously.
So, it could be argued.
Yeah, because he was like, I should be a father, should I? Don't take out these kids.
Great shout. Yes, call back to what he had. I've been...
And he hits a punt completely not on his moveset.
I do the punt now. It could be argued.
I'm hearing voices. They tell me your kids are dickheads.
So...
What are you going to say about that?
Is that anything?
Eric can do that now.
You can.
You can hit one of them. You can't see me.
Oh, God. I need to show you a video of Charlie with a G, so glasses on going, yeet. The finish at WrestleMania was trash, but the idea of like John Cena getting the big smirk on his face as Travis Scott came to the ring. And an entrance that I enjoyed, because remember we got Fiend in full one last time.
More than in full.
Oh my God.
6 times.
Leap it. Let's go again. With Jey Uso, but me with Fiend. That all weekend. I remember coming back round enough to blasting it in one of the Ubers.
Yeah.
And I was like, windows down with Fiend. Which was then topped by the robot car in San Francisco.
Yeah, that didn't look class.
That was a different world, mate. I'll leave that to Phil. I don't want to just take away all the stories. He'll tell you more.
There's going to be a great spot with an FU into an AA, what we're calling it, into an RKO, isn't it?
They were always into that, and you can get a 2 count out of it. No, what I think is Randy Orton, the referee is going to be out, or otherwise, whatever, to free up Randy Orton to do the punt. And it is going to look all done and dusted for John Cena in the same way that things did for him at WrestleMania before Travis Scott appeared. And again, it wasn't really a run-in inspired finish, but the run-in helped John Cena. He's willing to take these.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is going to be queuing up the punt. And right as he's about to start the run-up, he's going to find his leg hooked. And the distraction is going to be enough, and John Cena is going to get the win. And the person hooking the leg is going to be R-Truth.
Oh my God.
Because he is almost becoming stubborn in his defense of John Cena. And we all know that that's leading somewhere pretty bleak for Ron,
Like,
isn't it?
Nasty to remember
It's
this.
gonna be
like
horrible.
the Eugene Triple H thing, isn't it?
It's going to be
basically?
horrible and it's going to be awesome, but it's going to be horrible when John Cena gets all of his use out of R-Truth and then bludgeons him or whatever, or they get like one TV match out of it.
He cost Cena in a match, non-title, for someone to get a title shot, and he's like, right, well, you've
You had one,
you've ruined it.
you had one life, and even then I was sparing you, and I didn't really know why. Time to die. But I think R-Truth helps John Cena retain against Randy Orton.
Wow.
And I think that's the finish. And they don't go to it right away. It's just this idea that like R-Truth is willing to make a pariah of himself on SmackDown. Like you see it backstage. Like people are kind of trying to tell it. He's not the same guy.
Jimmy Uso's like, come on, mate.
Yeah. Like you've had little Jimmy, I'll be big Jimmy and look after you.
Oh, yeah, and
But,
put that together.
It's going to go badly in the end. But in the meantime, I think they should like double down on it because you can tell that people are feeling.
I like that as I really like that as a little.
Yeah, like John Cena like doffs his cap in that like very serious way, and then like Archie's like, "Well, great, see, what are you all worried about?"
Now, switching gears somewhat, we need to talk about a match that's taking place on SmackDown tonight that has presumably nothing to do with Backlash, but long-term will do, because there is a number one contenders match to see who faces Tiffany Stratton next for her world title. It's Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. Naomi's been factored into all this as well. How do you see this one going?
Nia Jax.
Saturday night's main event, Nia Jax feels the obvious.
Yeah, they did a thing, didn't they, where like Tiffany Stratton, like they're persisting with this Tiffany Stratton babyface thing, and I kind of admire it because they're not compromising her character too much. She's arrogant, but the idea is you're trying to turn it into confidence.
It's every time.
Indeed. Trying to turn it into confidence rather than cockiness. And she was doing the thing with Nia Jax. Was it last week where it was just like, whoever you think I am, when I was your sidekick?
Yeah.
That might as well be a million years ago. Like the cash-in was something that I was capable of then. Think about what I'm capable of now that I'm the champion.
I've been Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, they've put the things in place for it. And Nia Jax and Naomi building a loose alliance at this point allows Naomi to help Nia Jax win, possibly by cheating, like the screws Jade Cargill or whatever. They have to go one more time. WWE quite like them.
Both go in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
They probably will. It's done and dusted, that whole thing, but they WWE quite like. So like Jade Cargill wins at WrestleMania and everybody goes, Jade Cargill wins the Foo-Head. But then what they'll do sometimes is like run it back with a weapons match.
Especially if the heels lost the first one. They're like, no, it's not over until I say it's over.
Yeah. And they can do like a street fight on SmackDown.
Could they do a loser leave SmackDown?
They can do whatever they
Or
want.
lose it, because the draft's coming up.
Yeah, like they can do whatever they want.
This show's not big enough for the both of us, especially when it goes down to 2 hours.
Because
Naomi on Raw would be really good.
Bianca Belair said that she was going back to SmackDown. She was sad that she'd lost the title match and she had stuff to figure out on SmackDown, didn't she? So she's been conspicuous by her absence ever since. So this is maybe how you fold her back in down the line, not this week, down the line. But yeah, I fully expect Nia Jax to win this through nefarious means because they can start doing the thing now where Jade Cargill has got her eyes on the prize and she's feeling like she's getting close, but then finds setbacks along the way.
Yeah, she can lose with excuses,
Yeah.
and her aura is not affected.
Yeah, and you're right. I think both end up in Money in the Bank regardless. So
Chelsea Green for Money in the Bank.
yeah, why not? Why not?
Great, it'd be so good. Switching back to Backlash now, although I suppose factors in tonight because there's a tag match involving quite a few people involved in this, but there's a fatal four-way, and I was told multi-man matches were bad, and then watched WrestleMania weekend and thought, vindication for Wilbourn yet again.
Is he ever wrong?
Jacob Fatu defending his US title against Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and L.A. Knight. This should be great. There's a tag match beforehand with Jacob, Solo, Priest, and LA Knight as the tag teams.
Priest and LA Knight are contentious partners for the time being.
Can they coexist?
I don't think they're going to manage it. Are they? Here's a one for you. Jacob wins, a Backlash, retains. It's not that out there, is it really? What you got? What are you cooking?
I've got something. No, yeah, keep going.
Are they working towards, and I think they should, by the way, a LA Knight heel turn?
Yes, I think that's the right direction to be going in.
We've had a good time and a good run, but there is now like sort of more juice in the fruit with him as a heel, I think. Like there's more, you could line up some baby faces for him to work.
Which shows him versus Yeet.
Yeah versus Yeet. We've not gone back to it for a little while. They had that promo.
I should have got this. I should have been me. I should have got the push. I'm the one with the catchphrase.
Yeah.
And they overlooked me.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeet. But it just works.
Because they're not trying for match of the year with Jay at the end.
They are not. And even if he was trying, wouldn't happen.
Like the Seth Rollins match.
I liked it too. I liked Jesus. Fine. Jesus, absolutely fine. I didn't mind the Gunther match. And let's just end the conversation there. Yeah. Jacob's winning. 4 ways, to your credit, have proved themselves enjoyable matches over the WrestleMania weekend, but this one is that shortcut. Well, he's got to have his first defense. He's got to have his first pay-per-view cycle. And
as soon as WrestleMania finished, all of a sudden AEW are doing 8-mans and 6-mans and come on, guys.
If you're going to copy Homer, copy the best, right?
Yeah.
This is a nice,
Maybe
easy
what
route.
John Evans said, hold some weight. I don't know. I'm just asking questions here, mate. That was real fun last night.
Check out the news with you and Murray. If you don't know what that's in relation to.
I throw some chum in the water, baby.
I bet you do.
I'm just getting rid of this chum.
Your TJ's just asking questions.
I'm just chucking this chum in there. What's the problem? What do you mean this shark?
Saw a video the other day where some fisherman on a boat, poured some it was like cranberry juice, some cranberry juice, something red drink.
Yeah.
In the water. Just all the fish went, straight from them. The new bait is red drink.
Well, we should put Prime in there. You absolutely clean up. Just kills all fish.
Give it to your fish.
They float to the top like a bomb's gone off.
It wouldn't surprise me if that absolute Charlotte and Logan Paul was like, chum flavored Prime, the taste of chum, now we're hydrating you.
Do you know this is a show of commitment from me, by the way. This weekend, I'm going to Manchester to see some friends, and Annalie's going to do the Crystal Maze thing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
on
cool.
dare duty.
My wife's doing that in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll let you know how she gets on. And
you'll be like, oh no, she got locked in. We're going to give her one of the crystals, get her out.
Bloody Baldy's got her.
Give it away.
What's his name? Richard
O'Brien.
Yeah, legend.
Or Ed Tudor Paul was the other host.
Yeah.
That came in after.
Didn't Iowati do it?
Richard Iowati did the return money.
Old Dick Iowati, as I like to call him. Sorry, I realised you were drinking. I thought, well, go for that, obviously.
Old Dick Eye.
Can we have you as I forgot what his name is, the main character in Jaws, and me as Jaws?
The main character in Jaws is surely Jaws.
No, it's George, actually. It's the other guy.
Right.
It's George and Jaws.
Okay.
George is the guy on the boat. He's like, and then he turns around and he has a cigarette. That's you. I'm George. Yay! Oh!
There you go, Brian. The Jaws poster.
Yeah.
Where it's the little boat at the top and it's just you, mouth open for banter.
Yeah. Some people say my banter's so magic they should call me David Copperfield.
That, while I was, I think, starting to feel a sense of exhaustion, put me in the ground.
We were coming back from the outlet centre, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he said that in an Uber.
I also really slow played it. I was like, I've been thinking about something actually.
I lost it.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so I'm going to Manchester.
Yeah, sorry.
And it has taken all the restraint in the world because I brought back, and I've forgotten the bloke's name, but thank you to whoever it was, who I think on night 1 of WrestleMania when we were filming outside the Allegiant, before we filmed what went down, just came past, had a big old like pallet of WrestleMania Prime.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, do you want a couple? Take some for like Hamflett and Miller and blah, blah, blah. And I took a couple, drank one immediately, obviously. Absolutely delicious. But I kept one unopened, and I've brought it back for Anna Louisa's mate's kid.
Oh, nice.
Who loves Prime and used to love wrestling, likes football now. What's wrong with you? What's your team? Liverpool. What have they ever won?
Look,
the Premier League. Congratulations, yes.
Whatever. Everybody knows it goes wrestling, NBA, football. It should be everybody's order.
Yeah.
This month.
But yeah, so I've held off. I've had a bottle of WrestleMania Prime staring at me, making me sad. So let's get rid of it this weekend.
I drank that full bottle that you gave me because I was just desperate to get my voice back.
Yeah.
We had a weekend still of coverage, and I was just sounding like Madge from Neighbours again. We haven't talked about the strap. Backlash. If you think Backlash is going to take you high, let me tell you somewhere even
Got the
higher.
ultimate thrill ride for your ear.
Can we take you higher? Well, nowhere higher than the point of the top of the Strat in Las Vegas.
Higher than the
Nevada.
Eiffel Tower?
Yes. There was this bit, there's this display. You think those buildings are tall? They're
Yeah. You think that dick's big? Check out my dick.
Yeah.
So.
The Strat dick measuring wall. I think there was like 2 or 3 that are bigger. Like, is the Burj Khalifa taller?
Maybe. I think there might be one in Japan.
Anyway, so otherwise, it's bronze medal dick sized. And there's a ride at the top. And it's just one of them, don't imagine the Strat as a penis. That's him being gross. But imagine there's a ride at the top that just does that.
Yeah.
Just does that all the way up, all the way up, all the way down, and then up, finished. And it's the scariest thing I've ever done.
Absolutely. Me and him both nearly bottled it. We confessed to each other.
You were up at the top of that building, and there was me, you, and Phil, and it's real windy because you're so high up. And you're holding on, there's loads of space. You're not going to fall off the edge of the building, but it doesn't feel like that when you're up there. Like, you're kind of like, the views are amazing. I'm really scared. Yeah. Every sentence will be tinged with this. The adrenaline starts to spike, and then you kind of can't cope with it. Unless you're Phil Chambers, it's just it's nice bit, isn't it?
Yeah. He was so chilled out. I was thinking my glasses are going to blow off. I'm going to fall over the edge.
Glasses, right? So,
the second tallest observation tower in the Western Hemisphere. Only the CN Tower in Toronto is higher.
Yes, the CN. I've never been up the CN. I love going up big towers. Me and Phil realised we had in common a love of big towers and bridges. We saw a few of them in America and Canada. No, so this Strat, go and have a look online. Google, YouTube, we've got the POV shots of it all and stuff. It's real high. And the seats of 3, but for whatever reason, the 3 of us couldn't go on the same side.
Yeah, it was balancing it out.
Phil was very kind. He was like, well, I've done this. I'll go on my own. And he gave us the best view as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
so
he was very
the view
good.
of the strip and stuff. I mean, it's a view of everything. Everywhere you look, it's a view of everything. It's so high. But so me and Wilbourn are facing out. Phil's round the east side. And then on those rides, I do genuinely enjoy them, but I cannot cope with the teeth clenching anxiety of when.
Yeah, you're just waiting, aren't you?
So I have to close my eyes for that bit. And then when
that girl who was running it just go, bye. Just before you took off.
And even then, it's not like
on the big shot.
Shot. The floor disappears well before you shoot off. So you're already feeling well, there goes that. I'm feeling twisting my stomach now.
My balls feel weird whenever I go up high somewhere.
I'm regretting it now and I'm not on it. But so the floor disappears and then you're kind of just waiting. And as soon as the floor's gone, I'm like, well, I'm just shutting my eyes, but I'm excited. Clenching. And then we shoot up and then I can open my eyes because the sensation of going up is frightening. But that for me is the worst bit. Everything from here is gravy, you think. Because then you open your eyes, you're like, this is really high. This is unnaturally high to not have any control over your body. And you get one down and then you're like, oh, go again. And the views are incredible.
Amazing.
And the euphoria that you've done the worst of it.
Afterwards, yeah, I was on a...
But me and you are just screaming ourselves hoarse. And then we're like, can't really hear anything from Phil's side. And then we go down and we look at, and they've got like the ride pictures as usual. And the pictures tell the story. It's us going like, ah! Like that. And Phil just looks like he's sat on a park bench having his dinner. It's nice, this. Lovely.
Freak.
Lovely. Murray, meanwhile, was the real winner because you can go right the way to the top without doing the idiot's ride and just have a lovely beer.
Yeah.
Just have a nice beer and look out upon Las Vegas. And Murray had a nice pint while we were sort of stupid enough to go on the
We're over 1,000 feet in the air when we were on the big shot.
It's too high. How would to fall off a 1,000-foot ladder? Amazing. Try it yourself if you're over there. It's the only one left now, isn't it? They've not got the tippy-toppy roller coaster.
I don't know how that works now, but I feel like they're still doing that one where you jump off the edge.
It's a bungee one, effectively, where you just jump off the building.
Oh, no, Insanity's been stopped. Jesus Christ, I forgot about Insanity. Hey, do you want to go on this one? It's a swing ride. You swing over the edge. If it breaks, you're dead.
Goodbye.
Oh, God. It just said incident. I'm not clicking on that.
There was a servicing contract that ran out. Like, the company that used to service it ceased operations, so they had to close the ride because there's nobody else that would service it.
Sky jump, yeah, you jump off the edge of the strap. They're still running that one.
You ever done any bungees? Let us know. Twitter, comments, etc.
X Scream, I think, is still going. It just was shut when we were there.
Okay.
Thank God, because I was not going on that one. How do you even get on it? It's over the edge. No. What's
going on with that?
My balls feel weird again.
I would never do a bungee, I don't think. It's never been my thing.
My
Jumping
mate
out
did
of
it.
airplanes, bungees.
I might jump out of an airplane, although having what happened with us there, I think maybe my confidence has gone.
You'd be on the plane, you'd be like, no, take it down.
I'll stay here, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I'm very certain they got forced you out the door. Bungee's no chance. I remember a mate of mine did it and all the blood vessels burst in his eyes. So, no, thank you very much.
It's not funny.
He's fine. He does commentary for Sky on darts now. So
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
he's all good. Happy ending. So Jacob Fatu retained, you say? You say Jacob Fatu retained?
Yeah.
By the way, I have a booking for this.
Okay.
Whatever. Whoever wins on. Someone pins Solo Sikoa on SmackDown tonight, in my opinion, obviously, because this whole thing. Sooner rather than later for me, Jacob needs to be like, you're a wanker and an anchor, mate.
You suck.
Yeah. But Jacob's would have won the match anyway. He's just moonsaulting onto all three guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or it looks like he's got it in hand because it's Jacob Fatu. He ain't losing this US title for me until at least WrestleMania next year.
Okay.
However, Solo's like, don't you worry, pal. I've got you sorted. Maybe SmackDown GM, can't remember what his name is, suggests Solo, you're banned from ringside because I know what you're like. I've seen what you've done previously, so don't think of getting involved at Backlash. But I can have a look. What happened at last year's Backlash? You remember? Think of that. Bloodline were in a match, if I remember rightly. They won. It looked like Kevin Owens was about to win, and then all of a sudden,
It was the 6-man. Oh, it was a tag team opener, wasn't it?
yeah, all of a sudden the referee seemed to be pulled out of the ring.
Like 3.1.
Yeah,
He put his leg was pulled, wasn't it?
yeah.
By one Tonga Loa. Okay. I like that.
Returns and helps Jacob Fatu win, even though he doesn't need it. And Solo's like, I got you back.
Yeah.
Tonga's like, where is everyone?
In that like trademark style where they were starting to book him to be silly. He helps, but he's not even Solo's like, we did it. Am I right? And Jacob's like, well, I guess. Like I had this one, but yeah.
Tongalo shows up with kicks Jacob Fatu in the dick. That's the DQ, right? So that's all. What do you mean it's a 4-1, huh?
I like that. Yeah.
Right, we have several other matches to talk about. I'm saving my favourite to last. You can probably guess what that one is. Let's talk about Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria Women's IC title. This has been really well built, I think.
I like this card a great deal, this Backlash card. I think there's good range, and I think Raw is dominating its proceedings, and Raw's been a good show since WrestleMania. And this is good too. Excuse me. I think Becky Lynch wins here. I think this heel turn is not for everybody. Becky's got a certain delivery style that changes when she turns heel, but I really like what I think is going on, which is, I think, another attempt on Becky Lynch's part to try and elevate as many people around her as possible. And I definitely think she's building something with Bayley.
Yeah.
I think the way that
It's almost like you should have let it play out when Bayley was taken out of WrestleMania instead of immediately jumping online and saying, they're killing Bayley.
Well, I do think they are fingers on pulse wrestlers, if nothing else, and they are watching, as it should be, by the way. It's been 10 years, but they are watching the kind of the horsewomen be more about legacy than about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is enough on this roster now that you could have a horsewoman, less WWE, and it would be okay, but let's never forget that it doesn't happen without them. So
People would be jockeying for position without any horses.
he's never off. That's why he's the best in the business. That's why I envy him. Happily envy him. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's as big as maybe they think it is, but I think they are working to make it as big. Becky Lynch talking about how Bayley, attacked her over and over again since 2019, and then Bayley moving to post a video of like Becky attacking her all the way back in NXT has set a bunch of people off finding their own little bits of like disconnected lore between the two. Well, actually, it was this. Well, it was none of it, right? This storyline started 2 weeks ago in 2025, but they have already done a really good job of getting people to like look back and make it look like one 10-year story between two horsewomen. Like, they basically forced people to craft this as if it was John Cena, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And now there has to be a winner down the line. And Becky Lynch has screwed Bayley out of a WrestleMania thing. And Bayley's done this interview with Chris Van Vliet where people have gone, oh man, yeah, she's not wrong. Like, why isn't she received the same as a Charlotte or a Becky? What is that? What's the disconnect? And then you've got Becky saying, oh, I need to text your mate Mercedes for $100. And then the people have gone, even like Mercedes has got that level that Bayley never could. And it just creates this construct for like, I think, a real solid build for a singles match. But I think as part of that, you take what you built before WrestleMania, where Bayley was content to tag with Lyra Valkyria, but made it quite clear she wanted the IC title down the line. How would you put both together? You put the IC title on Becky Lynch. I think you put the belt on her. You have Becky Lynch already in this kind of like overconfident, overcocky, I'm the star heel character, is now validated and vindicated by the belt. I am in favour of putting her with the Seth Rollins group for what it's worth.
Okay.
I think it adds flavour, and there is loads of evidence to suggest this as well. Adds flavour to a stable when you can play across multiple divisions. Tags, singles, women. Like, were the Judgment Day not 50 times better for it and continue to be better for it? With
I just thought of Lash Legend joining the group as like a heater.
That's a great shout too. I'm not sure Becky's into it because I think that both her and Seth are probably scarred by the 2019 run. But the point was nobody really liked their chemistry as a couple, and now they're heels, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That might work this time around.
Unbearable.
Yeah, that might actually work this time around. But I could see why if they didn't want to do it. But nonetheless, I think Becky Lynch wins. But luckily for Lyra Valkyria, she's working with Becky Lynch.
And losing upwards. Put her in Money in the Bank straight away, I'd say.
Yeah, that's fine. But I feel like it's never over with her.
No.
The end of the story is her getting the belt back off a Becky or a Bayley or moving up, as you say. And I think there is so much evidence. And this is the other point. I made this point on Twitter. They are looking, Becky and Bayley, to work an audience that knows they're nice. There's just too much evidence out there that, like, both of them seem to have done everything they can for others. Just like ample evidence over and over again of these two women that use their spot to try and bring as many women up with them at the same time. And it's lovely that people go and do interviews and say, Bayley was like advocating for us, or Becky was advocating for us, or insisting on working with us. But it makes it really hard for them two characters to be then, I want the spot, no, I want the spot. Well, if there's evidence suggests you're trying to give the spot to everybody else. This is the way you work that. You make it seem like, actually, F all of those others. This is the match. This is going to be for the Intercontinental title. This is going to be our validation that we're the top stars.
Charlotte in there whilst you're at it.
Why not? I'm sure she wouldn't have a problem with it. Like
Triple threat doesn't have to be pinned either.
Well, isn't that strange? Wait, Charlotte Flair making it a triple threat match? I can't see it. I just can't see it. No. I think Becky Lynch has to win.
Does Bayley's, because there's been discussion about what Bayley is now. Does Bayley's reinvention lie in arguably going back to what brought her to the dance? In terms of, do you finally just cave and go, right, we should give him the song?
Song Bayley Buddy's top knot.
Maybe not all the way. I feel like that might be too much of a regression, but
like a kind of,
come on,
just
do it.
You're close enough to there's something that was missing in the 2024 title run, and the work wasn't always great. And maybe there was a bit of a disconnect between how she turned babyface and the presentation of her Egypt stuff. which, by the way, can I just say I'm now a massive fan of?
Yeah.
Huge
Turns out.
huge Pyramid Sphinx guy now. Maybe. There's something to the idea that Becky wins, and it's like, you know what, Bailey, like this is just like how this goes. You don't get to get this sort of thing, and then in order to do it, Bailey goes back to the basics that got her there in the first place. I could see that.
I do also think this may well be, the only title change on this show, so I'm inclined to agree with you that, unfortunately, Valkyria drops here. But she's held it for, over 100 days? How long she had it for? Inaugural champ, obviously.
Yeah, that's it. She gets to be the first forever, so I think, the job is done.
Yeah.
She's been established as a... It
was a forgotten title for a while.
I will say this, right, and I don't know if it's been by design or a little bit by luck and accident, but the Intercontinental title as a workhorse belt, they've actually done it with Lara Valkyria.
Yeah.
People are receiving her through the quality of her work more than the quality of the booking as being a workhorse.
Yeah.
Like a good, potentially one day great wrestler. And she's honoured that Intercontinental title legacy as a result.
Bird horse more than a workhorse. Is that anything?
The 4 bird women.
Yeah. Stop. Clap. Stop. Woo! Not the only IC title on the line this weekend, though, because the fan favourite, Dominic Mysterio, has his first pay-per-view title defence against Penta. How do you see this one going?
Dominic wins. I'm not that excited about this one, to be honest. The Penta... Me and Sid have recorded a Q&A, which will probably drop just after you've watched this, Saturday maybe or something. It occurred to me that I had a bit of exhaustion or a bit of burnout with trades. I've just got no interest in Aleister Black, or I'm sorry to offend those that love him, Rusev, or even because WWE have kind of told me where he lives right now, Rey Fenix.
Okay.
I just don't care. There's loads of wrestlers. Basically, when Sige was like this about AEW, it was because there was a significant creative decline, and he was like, more wrestlers won't fix it.
Yes.
I don't think we're witnessing a significant creative decline in WWE. I think we're witnessing a small one, and I've thought this since January, and I don't think new wrestlers are the answer.
No.
I think finding more creative things to do with your existing roster is the answer. And Penta was this, almost right, close the door now. Penta came in and was great, and it was this realization of, but I don't want anyone else.
Yeah.
I want to just live in this world with these existing wrestlers. And then more kept coming, and everything started diluting, and Penta lost a couple of high profile ones, and I do feel like that has dented.
He's always had an excuse though. He's never lost super clean, has he?
He's had his aura dented.
I think the same thing happens here, obviously.
And I think he loses again.
Yeah.
And I think that is more WWE telling you that you've had your fun. This is where Penta lives. At some point we're going
to the tag team stuff soon.
Some point we're going to put the Lucha Brothers back together.
New Day's got no one on Raw.
Yeah. Dominic wins. I like the Finn Balor stuff. I think it's been fun. I think this idea that he's painting a smile on only for deciding when he's going to turn or when he's going to strike or whatever. It's clicking, but they need to go further with it.
I think Finn's the reason he wins, by the way. And
Yeah.
Dom doesn't want the help. Or Liv Morgan comes back. She's finished up the filming for that movie she was off to Hollywood. Yeah, apparently she's coming back next
There you
week.
go then.
But yeah, I think Finn helps him, and he's like, actually, I didn't actually ask for your help there, because he said, well, you asked for your help with AJ Styles, because that's where we're going next.
It's this story currently, this Finn Balor one. It's like me in my 40s. It's threatening to cook, but it's not cooking yet.
Okay, yeah.
That's what this one is.
But yeah, I don't think this is Penta's first WWE title by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and I don't think it'll come until they put the Lucha Brothers together. And I'm a bit sad about that, because I was enjoying singles Penta, but it did feel like, especially over WrestleMania weekend, it just felt they went and stop. That's it. We've got you to where we wanted to for singles. For a platform, now drop down a bit, and then we need you in a tag.
Yeah, I agree. And also, in almost any other situation, you'd go, obviously Penta beats Dominic Mysterio, but considering the reaction to Dominic Mysterio, it'd be very interesting to see how crowds react to this match.
Yeah, I think that feels already like a WrestleMania weekend relic, that, doesn't it? The babyface Dominic thing. I think it was something that the crowd just seemed to fall in love with and make a bit of a memory for themselves I'm not sure it's carried.
Okay.
Television.
So maybe Dom goes to the mask then.
I would run this straight up heel babyface and just have Dominic as if he's always been this hated figure.
Because he's been very good at like, no, I don't want to defend my title.
That's it. They're not leaning into him being a good guy. They're just simply surrounded by assholes, and you're supposed to kind of like not trust Finn Balor. And I don't think they want Penta to be getting booed.
No.
Like, so I think they bought this with the view of like, keep booing Dominic. You had your fun at WrestleMania, but can you follow our lead now, please, fans? Don't stop protesting. We don't like that. Don't stop protesting. We don't have to give you John Cena versus Randy Orton.
That's how Grande Americano makes another appearance.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's won his first gold in WWE.
Yeah. WWE Speed. Which I genuinely was trying to remember with Sidge last week who's had that title. I think I got most of them, to be honest.
Did you?
Yeah.
Speed guy.
Speed guy.
Who did Grande Americano beat? Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. I think Ricochet's held it before as well.
Ricochet, the first champion.
Andrade might have had it for a bit. I might have just misremembered that.
Gargano? No.
He's fought for it, definitely. But it's a weird old belt, that.
Yeah.
You won a belt, but not really.
It doesn't count. You can't wear it on telly.
Yeah. But now let's talk about the big match of the weekend, of course, a sort of established powerhouse against a plucky up-and-comer. It's Chesterfield against Walsall on Sunday, or as I like to call them, Small Saul.
Good.
That's what I've seen some fans saying online. Well, Chester failed. It's real easy to do when we lose this.
You've been at Walsall's ground.
Yes, I've watched England play at Walsall.
Have
Like
you?
England, they did like, when they're like, come and watch the under-21s for £1. It was when
Yeah.
I lived in Brum, obviously. It was great.
I saw
Ian
Sunderland.
Sparks had a day out.
My brother-in-law's a Walsall fan, and we agreed when we were in League One. Oh, well, we never imagined this would come around as a league fixture, so I guess we can do this. I'm fine. And we went to the game, and we sat high up. Sunderland got like a late equaliser, but it was pitch invasion City Jones because it was just like, thank God. But I was sat in the Walsall end, so I couldn't necessarily celebrate. But it was in the end where you can see the motorway. And that's quite a nice vibe.
Yeah.
It's the stadium and the traffic. And I think that's quite a nice look. So I've got a certain affection for Walsall, but more of a one for you. So I hope you win.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I think Walsall, they dropped down in the last minute of the league season. Thanks again to Carlisle United for helping us even just sneak in here to the playoffs and for Salford being crap.
As somebody from Scarborough, I can never forgive Jimmy Glass, can I?
Yeah, of course.
I never got better for that.
But yeah, we snuck in under the wire against a team who were a minute away from being automatically promoted until Bradford scored.
Of course, yeah, they were the victims of that. Yeah.
They were also top of the league at the start of the year, 12 points clear, and now they fuck.
What losers at the start of a year would drop a 12-point lead? That would be humiliating. I would never, ever be able to let myself even look at my team if they dropped a 12-point lead from Christmas. That would be embarrassing. Historically, generationally humiliating.
Newcastle were leading the Premier League back in the day. But this is, sorry, we are on a bit of a tangent here, so I should establish that by playing the stab we have for that.
Is it like a sort of thing that becomes a checkpoint in the YouTube video where it gets flagged by Paul Simon and people know they can skip along if they don't want to listen to the Sarkor?
I will be driving back from Manchester. So it's going to be a fun drive.
Driving home for football.
On Sunday afternoon when we play. But you're playing tonight, right?
Yeah.
Who you got?
Coventry. I was bloody Coventry.
Sheffield United waiting in the final, presumably. They battered Bristol
They
City.
did, didn't they? Yeah. It's always bloody Coventry. It's always bloody Charlton. I kind of level with you. I don't care. Right, here's a soccer tangent for you. I don't want my team to get promoted.
Wow.
And I'm not watching tonight. And I can't is a short story there. I'm not going to go long on that. I can't watch tonight. But even if I could, it would be to watch with my kids who have... I like Sunderland more than I like football.
Okay.
I've got a far deeper relationship with Sunderland, the club, and the city than I've got with the game of football. Right?
Right.
There was a question on our Q&A, quick spoiler. Matt Rains, my best friend, asked us who was going to win the Champions League final. And I was glad Sidge was there to answer because I think Matt said something like, I'm going with PSG. And I was thinking,
I hope it's Inter.
Well, I was like, well, I don't know the other team. I'm glad you put PSG in the tweet because I don't know who the other team is. Like, Champions League means nothing to me. Like, Premier League means even less, I think, somehow. Like, and we've apparently got to get there. I love the chase because my kids have enjoyed going to games this season and we win most weeks. So I've enjoyed having
us in the National League this year.
Lots of nice Saturdays and Tuesdays with my boys this year. And it feels there's something. So I'm not a man of faith, right? I'm not a man of religion. Football kind of runs close to that. And there is definitely something that moves me about this idea that, like my dad, I have ended up passing this curse onto my boys
Yes.
of following Sunderland. I'm 40, right? And do you know what gives me joy more than it doesn't is pro wrestling. Do you know what gives me joy more than it doesn't this month? Apparently, basketball. That will pass. That will fade. Like, the lack of a guarantee of joy that comes with Sunderland being in the Premier League is something I had more than enough of in my 20s and 30s, thanks very much. Don't need any more of it. I'm full. Right? My kids have never had it. So I kind of feel like I have to extend that to them. I don't want to win. I don't think we're going to win. But I'm all over the shop because it's still Sunderland and I'll be checking the score every minute. And if we win, I'll still have that jolt of adrenaline. I can't go to Wembley this year. So even if we make the final, I can't go to Wembley. So there's always that sense of, and again, and I can't even watch it with the boys. So I'm going to have to like pretend that it's airing on a different day and fool them into looking over here. And then we'll watch it as live at home if we win. And I'll fake it when we score. That's probably going to be the reality of us watching the playoffs. It's going to be like watching frigging wrestling on a tape delay or something like that.
God, no.
Like, I don't want any of this. And Sunderland were mathematically secure in fourth before we got on the plane to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was basically allowed to not look at, I didn't have to care.
Good job you didn't.
We lost 5 in a row, mate. And that might be tactical because if we go out all guns blazing and win tonight, then Reggie Slibbery is a genius for like resting basically everybody over like a 5-game losing streak. But I wasn't even checking the scores. I forgot we were playing at various, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter to me because the maths was done. We were fourth. It's such a weird headspace to be in. Like if we were in your situation, I'd be like roaring them in again at the final because it's like the last day you've done it. Da, 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 da. Like I feel nothing. I do not care. And there's loads of people I know that are going to the game in Coventry tonight. There's even more that I know that are going to the game.
the amount of tickets you've sold.
Hot ass ticket for the Stadium of Light on Tuesday. Wembley's going to
Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday, yeah. Wembley's going to be. We always sell out our location if we even get there. I don't know what I want. Ask me again on Monday.
Okay.
Let's see how this result goes because I just hate it.
Speaking of cursed, Pat McAfee's got to face Gunther.
This is the sport I love. This is the business.
This is great. The build's been fantastic. The promos have been sensational.
Football will sometimes have my head. The Fed will always have my heart. This is what I go to school for, even though it is a real bore. Gunther, he's had plenty, but not like Pat McAfee. And that's why if you think Gunther's push was busted when they booked this match, then have I got some news for you in the year 3000. It turns out fine, yeah? And your great-great-great-granddaughter's pretty fine.
Absolutely Thunderbirds, I'll go here.
I'm really...
Banger of a tune, that,
what
by
am
the
I
way.
saying?
Busted have got... I've been seeing them in concert with McFly.
McBusted?
On the same day as WrestleMania a few years ago.
I'm going to get a McDonald's after this.
It was one of the greatest days of my life.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Watched that and went, well, that was a great gig. Go home. Looks like it's time to watch. I think it was 32 Shane AJ.
Oh, 33.
33.
Yeah. Orlando. A big university studio in the background. Undertaker, Roman Reigns. Terrible main event.
I think I'd gone to bed by that point.
I think most people had. I think the wrestlers had themselves. I think Undertaker would have gone to bed when he was still out there. Maybe he'd gotten McBusted. He was tired from the gig. I like these guys. They come well dressed.
Pat McAfee, Gunther.
Love it. Love it. The highlight of a Raw full of highlights and the Raw after WrestleMania. The other 2 weeks of build have been great. It's compact. A lot of people said, this is going to be a Saturday night's main event thing. I like that it's just happening now.
Yeah.
But that guy in the hospital, like Gunther acting out effectively, like he's lost the world title. He has yet again failed on the big stage and he's beating up a commentator, you know? But let's see the Gunther that has brutalised men. Let's see the Gunther that bloodied up Jimmy Uso. Let's see the Gunther that is pretending like everything is absolutely fine. And what he does is destroy people and beat people up and be the best, because actually he kind of can't get it done when it matters the most. That's Gunther's problem. It's his kryptonite.
Especially when his opponent's got the fans behind him, which McAfee will have, hopefully.
Yeah. So Gunther's going to tell himself through this absolute brutalisation of Pat McAfee that everything's fine, actually. I'll probably get my title back whenever I want. But that is the problem. That's the Gunther problem, is that what if he can't? What if he can't climb the mountain again? He couldn't do it against Cody Rhodes.
Is he going to be in Money in the Bank?
Maybe. Which is a really interesting way for Gunther to potentially regain the belt, isn't it?
Like a Bron Breakker for me.
There's so many candidates. That upper mid card is looking stacked and tasty.
Sam, have I ever told you about Sami Zayn, actually?
He's my guy this year. I'm sorry. He's my guy this year.
Sod's Law will be this year.
Because you're not backing him this year.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah, I agree.
Pat McAfee, the hope spots should be great. The little backflip that he does off the post in avoidance. What else has he got that's like quite a fun hope spot? You can try and kick him.
Yeah.
Punter.
Got the punt.
Gunther holding Pat McAfee's head as if it were a deer suspended on his wall in front of Michael Cole at the announce desk.
Oh, yeah.
And getting save him, Michael. Save him. Come on, Michael. Save him. And then Michael rearing back with a slap to Gunther.
I mean, Barrett's going to be on commentary.
Barrett or Tess.
Oh, both of them, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe Cole doesn't do commentary.
Maybe. Or Gunther
Cole's in his corner.
Gunther launches Pat McAfee forcefully onto the table with the view of wiping out Michael Cole at the same time, or any commentator. Don't laugh at me. You absolute dicks. Do not laugh at me. The insecurity that's bubbling up under him, and he's acting out and he's taking out on Pat McAfee. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, he should absolutely. And he's got the perfect chest for it, McAfee, because he doesn't work that regularly. So one chop is going to be basically what would happen if, he hit 15 chops on Sheamus or whatever.
I encourage people not to lose the loaf if and when Pat McAfee gets a moment of
He's going to get a hope spot. Absolutely, he should.
I don't need this to go ages, but I think anybody calling for a 60-second job are ruining their own fun. I'll take 7 or 8 to 10.
Gunther wins, kills him.
Yeah.
Maybe kills Michael Cole as well, you say. And
damage
then
is done.
Maybe even turns around and says, I don't know, just off the top of my head, who's next? Is there a chance we see Goldberg this weekend? A lot of talk about it now. There's, rumours again about obviously Gunther being the last match, and you would sense that would probably be a SummerSlam match.
Yeah. Pat McAfee was rubbish. He wasn't a wrestler. He was a footballer pretending to be a wrestler. Who's next is good.
Maybe I don't think necessarily Goldberg's going to show up here. I mean, it could be in the audience, I suppose. And it's a slow burn of Gunther just baiting him and baiting him and baiting him. How old's Goldberg's kid?
That's a good game, because he had him in the ring, didn't he, in the 2016-2017 run.
He's a big lad now,
and then
as well.
He came back a few years later and everybody was like, Jesus Christ. I would say he's probably about 22-ish.
I'm going to scroll through all of his.
22, 23.
What is all this? Other media. I don't want that. I don't really want to just type in Bill Goldberg's son. But I think I might have
Got your kids, Bill.
Right.
Bill Goldberg kid.
Bill Goldberg kid.
I reckon 22.
Gage.
Gage Goldberg, 22.
Oh my God.
It's not 22.
Ah.
But it is his birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday to Gage Goldberg tomorrow.
And what a better present than to go to Backlash.
Go to a WWE PLE with your dad.
Imagine if he's this lean out. You're front row. You're right up close to the action. There's Pat McAfee. Oh, bloody hell. Kicking my ass. Gunther goes to chop Pat McAfee. And he ducks. Unfortunately, a member of the crowd eats it. And it's Gage.
It's Gage Goldberg, who's in a pointy hat. Yeah. He's in a pointy hat and a badge that says, "It's my birthday."
Where are all the pictures of him having a cocktail?
What is that?
Search Bill Goldberg kid. Click on the first picture and then just look at the old. Why is it all? It's like an AI game.
I was just going to say, is that AI? Bill Goldberg eats a cake.
Where is it?
AI screen.
just a Getty Images thing of him. Oh, it's Las Vegas. That made me a little sad.
Well,
it's the Sugar Factory, American Brazier, in Las Vegas. We can buy the rights to it if you want for just £375.
Goldberg eating a cake.
You want to go in on new Bill Goldberg with his son and his missus.
That's what looks AI is the faces he's pulling over it. Yeah, he can like move his mouth into a triangle
I
shape.
didn't realize that could be Bill Goldberg's final match. Bill Goldberg versus a lollipop.
I'll get it. How much he was paid for that?
He spent his sweet ass time. That looks AI as well. Hey!
He looks sad. He's remembering his career.
Son's getting covered by Pyro. Yeah, I'll have Bill Goldberg there tomorrow night.
Yeah. Gunther chops Goldberg's son tomorrow night live in St. Louis. I like that.
Gage. But yes, McAfee's getting killed. Gunther's winning.
Can't wait.
Really looking forward to Backlash.
Me too. I'm going to watch Backlash and I think it's Warriors Timberwolves that I can watch at the same time.
Ooh, what's this Saturday night?
Saturday night. So Saturday night, it's been so difficult getting used to having to catch up with the playoffs on Twitter or NBA's YouTube channel in the morning rather than watching at a bar with beers in the game. That's the best. Hitman's Bar, when there was beers in the game on one telly, and there was CM Punk versus John Cena from 2013 Raw.
Oh my God.
You know, Dusty Rhodes video where he's sweating. He's like, I'm killing myself. Like, this could be it after this. Where do we go from here? No, the Saturday in America, there's a game on like 3:30 Eastern, which I think works out like half midnight our time.
Perfect.
So it's a run-in for me to watch that game and then like watch Backlash either on a delay or just like double screen it because then there's another game on while Backlash is on. So it's like Celtics Knicks, I think, which has been an unbelievable. It's 2-0 to the Knicks right now, but they've come back from 20 points behind in both games.
Wow.
Like Jalen Brunson is on fire, and that's a Phil off. So they're both teams in the Phil conference. So I have no skin in the game. I'm just enjoying it.
Amazing.
Warriors Timberwolves are both in the Hamflett conference. They're in Hamflett's net shooters. Thank you, Brian. Phil's Basketmen versus Hamflett's net shooters. So they're guaranteed teams into the conference finals from that bracket. But then there could still be, we could have an all-together final that could be Phil versus Fed.
You're going to watch that live if that's the case?
Well, this is the problem because it's a potential Game 7 series, isn't it?
Oh, of course.
So,
you have 7 nights together.
So, this is 1, 2, and 3. You're probably going to have to write them off. But if it's 3-0, then we have to get together for the 4th game, beers in the game. But that'll be like, I don't know, a frigging Tuesday night or something. I'll be, NXT was really good, Wilbourn. I'm dying, mate. So then it could go like to 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, and then it's Game 7. At this point, like my liver's pickled, and I've like
I'm Game 7. Hell yeah!
Spewing in the office, on a live stream. But yeah, so like the idea is to watch at least the game with beers, but who knows what that could be?
Amazing.
So we'll see.
Lots to look forward to this weekend. Let us know your thoughts on Backlash and your predictions in the comments section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, you can follow both of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for daily wrestling podcast. Wrestle Culture coming your way later on today. But for now, it's been the Backlash preview where we've talked about Goldberg showing up for Gunther versus Pat McAfee, Penta's potential first WWE title. Will Becky Lynch become women's IC champion? Can anyone stop Jacob Fatu? And John Cena versus Randy Orton one last time.
The Smacklash preview. It's got all this. When it comes to American Canada, just give me a little bit more.
We'll see you soon.